It's Sam, and if you're wondering why you got this video, it's because we've seen that you've given us a lot of support and we want to give you some ideas and opportunities that we wouldn't really share publicly. We aren't going to tell everybody this. And the first idea that I'm going to tell you today has been the backbone of everything that Colby and I have done throughout our whole lives. It's the idea behind exploring, taking chances, never being normal. It's the idea that's led to all of our success. Yeah, I'm going to share this idea to you today. But before I tell you that, I want to tell you when we realized this. So let's take it a few years back. So in high school, I realized a pretty important fact, and so important that I ended up tweeting it, so I'll just read it to you. School teaches you to follow all the rules. It teaches you the same stuff as everybody else. But how are you going to find success if you're just doing it the same way everyone else is? So for example, if school teaches you this amount of knowledge and rules, but it also teaches everybody else the same knowledge and the same rules, how are you going to reach success over everybody else? How are you going to be different? Just think about that for a second, and here's something else I realized. The way you learn in school and the way you learn in life are completely different. I know Colby and I talk about this a lot, but the way people interact with you, the judgment, the way you learn, the way you make friends, all of that is not how it is in the real world. Like, those times and those things that you've learned are not going to matter. I mean, maybe a little bit of the information, but the way you acquire that, no. And because people think like this, they take the same way they think about school and apply it to life. They think that when you're learning about life, you have to learn the same way, get the same answers, do it at the same pace as everybody else, but that's not the case. See, a lot of people think that life is a journey that you're going to have to figure out alone, in your own way, and you can't go ahead or do a different path than anybody else. But here's something they don't tell you in school. Other people have already figured this out so that you don't have to. And most of these people, literally some of the most successful people, are all people that are not doing it the same way, learning the same courses. Like, they're doing it different. You're not going to achieve this crazy amount of success if you are just as good as the rest of the 99%. And literally talking top 1%, Steve Jobs, creator of Apple, Mark Zuckerberg, creator of Facebook, Bill Gates, creator of Microsoft, all these people are not sitting there learning the same courses as everybody else. They're doing it different than anybody else, and they're not taking no for an answer. They're not waiting for everybody else that they know to learn at the same pace. So let me give you a few scenarios. Imagine having a mentor who's already been through life, that can teach you life lesson after life lesson that normal school doesn't teach you and quite frankly isn't going to teach you, to help you get to that top 1%. Imagine someone walking in the door, handing you a booklet of all the answers to all of your schoolwork the very first day you walked into class. Imagine every problem in your life where you could just instantly find a solution to it. Colby and I took this idea and ran with it. We have never learned the same way as everybody else has, and that has helped us grow and be more successful than I could have ever imagined when I was younger. And I'm not saying we're ever going to be more successful or even as successful as Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, but I will tell you this story. I remember this pretty vividly. It was when I was 15 years old. Yeah, 15. I walked through my kitchen and I was telling my dad, hey, why do people learn the way they do? Why is the school system the way they are? I feel like I'm never gonna amount to anything more than all of my friends if we're all learning the same way. I feel like I'm not gonna learn enough about like my life. Like, why? Why aren't people focusing on the things they actually want to learn? Like, why aren't people like freaking out? Like, you could learn so much if you just didn't do it the way school did. And my dad took me aside and said, well, Sam, the way that you and Colby think at 15 years old is so much different than anybody else your age. And quite frankly, way ahead of anybody else your age. The things you were thinking about, Sam, are things that I didn't think about until I was 30. People don't think about life the way that you guys do. People just like to be told what to do and do it. But you guys, you're probably gonna be a lot further ahead. And when we heard this idea, we're like, let's double down on that. And we grew exponentially, faster, and learned more than we ever have before. And that is what's given us the opportunity to be where we are today. We did things different so that we didn't have to be like the other 99%. And here's the kicker. It was easy. It's easy because life isn't like school. In school, you're gonna get in trouble for cheating. But life isn't like school. Someone's already figured it out, and they are more than willing to teach you. So in the next video tomorrow, Colby is going to explain to you why you can improve so much faster than every single person around you. But before I go, I just want to say one last thing. Well, we've said it before, but life is a game, and it's beatable. There's no such thing as cheating when you're learning about life. And if someone's willing to hand you all the answers, why the heck wouldn't you want to start right now? Just think about that. See you tomorrow.